Hello, welcome to season 3 of the Bad Movie Buff podcast with me, Niall Brady. Long time coming, guys. If anyone's been following me, you know that I had an absolute nightmare over Christmas trying to record episodes for this. 2 with Ryan Archer. So the first one, completely my fault. I had all my podcasts saved in a folder just named Leanne McCooey's podcast. So I thought that was just deleting one to clear space. I had backups elsewhere. But it turned out that was actually a folder with all my podcasts in it. So I deleted all the ones I hadn't posted yet. So my fault. I'm an idiot. Ryan gracefully came back to record another one. And God knows what happened with that one, but the sound quality was just unlistenable. Like, there was like a crackling the whole way through it. So that was probably the main reason why it's taken me so long to do season 3, because I wasn't fucking arsed. But here, we're back now. I've had a wee break. I'm on video now, video mode, and I had to get a new computer and stuff, so I could edit video and all, which I actually still don't really know how to do. But here we are, season 3, episode 1, with my best bud Shane Cunningham. So Shane loves The Matrix. He always has. So do I, to be fair. But he has Matrix tattoos and all. So he was down to get on. Shane's like the reason this podcast is off the ground. He told me what microphones to buy, what audio interface to buy. He is like a big sound guy. I don't mean he's sound. He's like into sound. He was a DJ for years. He actually produced the opening Bad Movie Buff theme. You know, the I don't know what I'm doing here. But anyway, hope you enjoy. This is about an hour of me and Shane chatting shit about The Matrix. It's good crack. Enjoy. Here. What's the crack, Shane?
Not a lot. Glad to be here. Mildly ropey after a few drinks last night, but in the perfect amount of ready to record something like this, and maybe I might be funnier. But
well, to be honest, you've shamed yourself and your family. So this is actually an apology video. No, Shane's went out in the pints last night, and I was cordially invited, but I'm trying to stick to this dry January shite. So it's very hard saying no to pints.
Yeah, I find that I just don't. I think January's. I've definitely done like dry January and stuff before, but I feel that denying it means as soon as it gets to February 1st, I just hit it, and I'm like, what was the point?
See, that's what I'm gonna do, because we're going to visit friends next week in Hillsborough, and by all means, it's going to be very sensible.
Yeah,
and I said
Hillsborough's a sensible place, like.
Yeah,
sensible
Hillsborough
stuff happens.
As far as the last time we went to visit these same friends, they're like, "Oh, let's go for a dander," and I was like, "Oh, cool! I've never been to Hillsborough before. Let's go for a walk." And as we were walking in, I swear to fuck, I heard trumpets. And I went, what the fuck's going on here? And there was some sort of like
royal family visit.
It wasn't a royal family visit, but there was some sort of changing of the keys ceremony or something. And we walked in, and there was a load of boys in like old garb with swords and all,
like stonecutter
at Hillsborough Castle. Yeah, I swear to fuck. And there was like horses and stuff. And I was like, if someone told me to paint like a picture of Hillsborough, of what I picture Hillsborough to be, that's what it would have been.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I said to Aoife, I was like, this is going to be a fairly sensible affair. One of our hosts is actually due, like a baby in a few months. So like one person there is not even drinking.
Fair enough. That keeps it kind of tame enough.
Keeps it reasonable. I said, Aoife, I'm drinking a full bottle of Buckfast and 6 tins at least. And she was like, don't. And I've kind of reined that in a wee bit, but
you offend the baby, like, yeah, somehow.
And there is another baby is there as well. They already have a child.
Our
hosts already have a child.
2, like.
Yeah. No, it's not twins.
2.
It's not 2. But yeah, so it is. It's not that it's. You see, I'm not doing it so it can be like, oh, I think I'm healthier now. I'm doing it just to give my wallet and my liver a rest.
I was going to say, does dry January promote watching more movies? But being hungover promotes watching movies too.
See, when I'm hungover, I can't do anything. Like sometimes a movie and I'll fall asleep to it, but like I'm just doom scrolling my phone when I'm hungover.
Yeah. Although I find that being mildly hungover, if you watch something like maybe an animated or something emotional, you can really like let yourself go. But that's good though.
Bad jam.
Yeah, but I can cure. I watching recently. Me and Emer watched the.
That's good coffee.
That's good. Yeah.
Finnegan and Sons.
Damn fine cup of coffee. But no, we watched the Wild Robot whilst hungover, and it cured my hangover and a bit of my heart. I think my heart grew bigger that day when I watched it.
All right, the Grinch. Right, so just to give you a quick intro here, for people that don't know, this is one of my best buds, Shane. So he is my producer. I swear I don't really have a producer, but you're probably the closest thing.
Oh yeah, right enough actually. Yeah.
If I ever have an audio issue, I ring Shane. Shane has a history in DJing and production, and knows his way around a microphone and sound system.
Sounds really weird.
Shane also produced the musical intro to this podcast.
Oh yes, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I kind of think like I don't really do very much with it these days, but like whenever I have a little opportunity like that, and like there's a brief, it's kind of fun to play about with. So it was really cool making it. Like,
but you had a few tunes out back in the day. Did you ever DJ? I'm sure you've listened to Leanne's podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sure Dad was on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking big couple of weeks with the Cunninghams. Both of these hitting podcasts.
Yeah, right enough. It was great too. Like I think, like I've heard all the stories over the year, but like the podcast was a good way to have that sort of chat. It was really good. Really,
your dad was like a peg and shite, but
he was like
really.
He was super
enthusiasm really came across.
Oh, big time! Like he was super nervous about it too, but in the end, I was brilliant. Like,
yeah. I actually fixed them up for that.
Yeah, I kind of thought you might. Yeah, what was it there as well? There was a full circle moment listening to it as well, because I remember she talks about a song and she says that's a pure Niall Brady tune.
Oh yeah,
and it was big in Japan.
But
he was saying that to my dad, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like.
So yeah, Shane is a big fan of the Wachowski siblings 1999 masterpiece, The Matrix. So we wanted to come on and chat about that.
Yeah, I kind of think whatever you were saying about it, I was like, I don't really think there's any other movie that I could do as a first movie to do that. It would have to be The Matrix. Like,
yeah, so it's definitely your favorite movie of all time. Like,
I think so. Like, I think like I can remember when I seen it the first time. It was kind of indirect. I think it was maybe like 9 or 10. So I think the movie came out in like 99, was
99, yeah.
So I think by the time I'd seen it first, I was at like my cousin's house and I caught a glimpse of it, and I was like, hold up, what's this here? Like,
yeah.
And I think it just like, I think it was the first bit where he's in, like, you know, whenever he's taking the red pill and he's coming to the pod or whatever, like they're taking about. But I think whenever I'd seen that the first time, it just sort of like got my attention, and then I don't think I maybe watched it all, but then I mean soon after I watched it, and I was like, I think it was just the right time, like I was the right age, and like it just blew my mind. Like
100%. I think it's one of those films as well, and there's so many of my favorite films are like this, where you see it when you're very young and you're like, that's fucking amazing, and when you watch it when you're older, you're like, I didn't have a clue what was happening in this film when I was younger.
Oh, 100%.
And every time I watch The Matrix, I rewatched it again yesterday. Every time I rewatch it, I'm like, I didn't pick up on that the last time I watched this. There's a lot of wee things in there. I always get something new from it every time I watch it. Like,
I think so. I think it's also good. Like, I can also very much understand why a young kid would be like, "Oh my god, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen."
Like, just
even just for like the guns and all that sort of stuff. So I think the first time I seen it, it was kind of more just the madness of the whole thing. But yeah, whenever you watch it more and more, you get definitely get more out of it. Like,
so just to do a quick overview, not that the film needs it at all. So Matrix, 1999, directed by the Wachowski siblings, starring Keanu Reeves. Why am I even reading this off a sheet? It's help. It's like, I've said this is like my comfort blanket. Like, Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne. He's starting to believe. Carrie-Anne Moss, Joey Pants, Hugo Weaving. That's just like the main cast. And yeah, there's obviously a lot more people in it, but that's the main boys.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of start off like, one of the mad things I never remember about this, but I was listening to a different podcast about The Matrix. Connor Keys, you ever listen to his podcast, The Best of the Best?
As through him being on this, that's how I found out about it. Like.
So I listened to his. If he's want to listen to a good podcast about The Matrix, listen to the Best of the Best episode, because
I haven't listened to his.
They go into so much detail, like stuff I didn't know that blew my mind. Like,
it probably embarrassed me as a fan. Probably listening.
It probably would, to be honest. Like,
yeah, definitely.
But they were saying, because they're both lads in around their 40s, I think. They were both saying that they remember the kind of viral marketing that came along with The Matrix when it first came out.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it was like maybe other than the Blair Witch Project, the first viral marketing campaign, where there would be like billboards and stuff saying like something along the lines of "Do you believe in the Matrix?" And before there was even a trailer or anything, this stuff was everywhere. Apparently,
I don't think I was old enough to remember.
No, I don't remember it at all. But apparently, everyone was like, "What the fuck is the Matrix?" Like, so there was like this unbelievable hype for the film before it was ever actually, released, or before even a trailer was released.
Yeah, that's it definitely seems a movie like prime for a proper good go at viral marketing. Like, it's 100%. I think as well as that. I wonder, like, I'm trying to think as well. Like, were any of the actors at that point? Well, Keanu Reeves, I suppose. Like,
Keanu Reeves was...
It's one of those things that, like, sometimes I find that, like, movies that have big stars sometimes very much utilise those stars to promote or be the face of a film.
Yeah.
But in the case of The Matrix, I can imagine that wouldn't have really worked in the same way, maybe, but...
Yeah. I suppose I know what you mean, kind of.
Yeah.
But, like, Keanu, he wasn't like a nobody, but, like, he had already done
Point Break.
Did he do Point Break? What year
Point
was that?
Point Break would have been early 90s, wouldn't it?
Was it? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Point Break, Speed.
And Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted, right?
Yeah,
enough. Bill and Ted, what the fuck am I on about? Like, so he's actually probably a big enough star at this stage.
Yeah,
but I think The Matrix is probably what took him from like a big star to like a mega star.
I think so, yeah. And then, like, what was it? I suppose it maybe like Lawrence Fishburne as well. He was in a lot of stuff before then. Like, was he in, what do you call that movie?
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Pee-wee's Playhouse. I can't remember what it was. I'll think about it later. But
he was in Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
He was
yes.
Furious Styles.
Yeah, he was really good, not like
unreal. Like,
actually, that's funny. He's definitely ended up being in some of my favorite things, like that, like The Matrix, obviously, and Hannibal. Yeah, like, just, I think he's great. But like, I don't know if he's a long list of movies that I love, but it just happens to be in two of my absolute favorite things.
Yeah, that's. I think the Boys in the Hood thing I didn't watch till I was in like uni, so I had only really seen him in The Matrix, and then when he was playing this like badass Furious Styles in Boys in the Hood, I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, pure really takes you aback. Like,
yeah, if you watch him as Morpheus first, that sets the tone, and then you're surprised by so many other things he's in because he's not Morpheus. Like,
yeah, kind of they kind of kick it off. Like, there's probably no real point in going into the plot. Like, if you haven't seen The Matrix, you shouldn't be listening to this. But like,
absolutely.
It's about a hacker called Neo that thinks that he's kind of out of place in his world and feels like something's not right. He's end up being found by like Morpheus' crew, which is like Trinity and all the boys, and then takes the red pill and wakes himself up from essentially the human battery form that is in the real life. So then he joins Morpheus' crew. Quiz question: what's the name of the ship?
The Nebuchadnezzar.
Nice. Can you spell it?
Nebud.
I have no phone to check this, but it's definitely
there's a D and a B. Like, I don't know.
There's a CH in it somewhere. Like,
yeah, and also I think that's another thing. That word, I remember seeing it as well come up somewhere else. It's something biblical. I'm assuming. I think it's something biblical.
It's there was a Babylonian king called Nebuchadnezzar, and he actually invented the
Babylon.
I don't know whether it's the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, but he was kind of Jesus, I should have written this one fucking down. I don't know why I didn't. He was kind of like, he thought himself like bigger than the gods or something like that,
right? And
that's where it came from.
And then, what do you call it? So that's also the name for, like, do you know you get like is that a thing, like, like massive bottles of champagne?
Yeah,
there's a
Magnum.
So there's one that's bigger than that, and it's called the Nebuchadnezzar.
Fuck off.
I swear to God. I think if I'm wrong, then that's ridiculous, but I'm nearly 100% sure one of the biggest ones you can get is called the Nebuchadnezzar. Like,
okay,
and
side quiz question for you: what's the name of the ship in Alien? Because I always get those two confused, because it's also an N, I think.
The Nelius or Nelia? No.
Is it the Nostra?
Oh,
it's not the Nostradamus. It's the Nostros or something, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm not sure of that. I should know, like.
But like, this obviously is one of the most iconic films of all time. It was like recently entered in the, like, the US Treasury kind of vault of the 2012.
The time capsule, like.
Yeah, the time capsule.
Just have to keep digging it up and adding DVDs into it. Like.
Yeah, pretty much, like, yeah. But there's so, like, every time I'm watching this, there's so many things that have referenced this as well.
Yeah. Oh my God, big time, yeah.
Firstly, I think that in terms of the fashion of the film, it really triggered like a neo-gothic early noughties fashion trend, in terms of every movie had someone in a duster for so long. Like,
filming for The Matrix at 9, Berghain at 10.
Yeah, pretty
that
much.
Kind of thing, like the scene, they're even, actually, that's it, the club scene, it's funny enough, actually, the club scene I don't know if there's any, probably there's no significance, but there's like early on there's a club scene where Neo follows the White Rabbit to go to this club, and then was it Rob Zombie playing
that? I've got that in my notes.
It's a banger.
What do you call that tune again? But it's dig through the ditches and burn.
Emer Kimmy, we were talking about it the other day too. Like, it's a banger, like
absolute tune.
And then what song comes on after it? The Prodigy, Minefields.
Oh really?
Yeah, in the club as well.
Pick up on that.
So I think that's actually another very big point about the movie. Maybe you were going to get to it anyway, but the music in the film, and like for me as well, that's another reason why it hit so well, because like all the music in it, I ended up loving all of those songs, and it sort of led me into like a lot of the music that I like now. But like Prodigy and all that sort of stuff in it, like it kind of makes it. It's a big part of it. Like, I
pure Mandela affected myself with the music when we were watching this the other night. So we started watching this Friday night and I fell asleep, so we rewatched the rest on Saturday morning. I was like, Defa, I love the bit where they're the shootout in the lobby and Block Rock and Beats comes on, and then I was like psyched for the whole movie. And I was like, that's not Block Rock and Beats. Like,
Spybreak, isn't it?
Is it? I don't even know. Yeah, that's it.
It's class. Like.
And then when it came on, I was like, okay, I can forgive myself. It's quite Block Rock and Beats-esque, like, you know.
I just realised I'm going to look, because this is a video as well, I'm going to look if I just going don't watch without audio, otherwise there's no context for that.
But I remember even like, did you ever see Blade 2?
Yeah,
like there's bits in it that are just like, in terms of the costume, it's just ripped. Like Blade's
100%, yeah.
Pure, but then there's
like a bit 2 years, couple of years after.
I think so. Yeah, I think Blade, the first one might have been around the same year.
Although I suppose the first, right enough, would have been. Yeah, it's very much the same sort of thing, and using the techno sort of focused soundtrack as well to make it kind of
but the fucking, like, one of the things you might know this, I meant to ask you. Actually, I purposely saved you asking this for the podcast. Do you know what it is? Because I don't know. Like, this isn't me like quizzing you. Do you know what it is he gives those people to come to his door at the start, Neil?
It's like a hacking program.
Yeah, but do you know what it's for or anything? Is that in the lore or anything like that?
I don't know. I actually, that's one thing I was thinking about. Like we're given no, like, we're just sort of assume that he's this hacker guy, but beyond that, like,
imagine
don't know anything about him.
It was just fucking Microsoft Office cracked or something.
Yeah, that's .exe.
The fucking head in those cunts at his door, like,
I know,
like they're all just like, you know what people back then thought goths were.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
they've got like nose hoops of fucking chains going around to their arse, like.
Yeah, it's funny as well because like she turns around and you see the White Rabbit tattoo, and I don't know, maybe she's just shit acting. It's just sort of like there's a very rigid sort of like smile that she has. That's really just like, it kind of just takes you out a wee bit.
Fair.
Oh yeah. I'm really critical getting into them, critiquing extras acting. Like,
Eva pointed this out to me and watched the other night. So like, obviously, like, people to the outside, like the likes of Trinity and Morpheus and all, or like famous hackers, and that's like their code names, isn't it? But Eva was like, that's a fucking good looking bunch of hackers. Like,
yeah,
you know? Hackers in real life do not look like that. Like,
no, much crustier. I think that's it as well. Like, it's funny as well. It's just like, I wonder at any point. Like, I kind of thought of it before recently as well. It's like, Neo, and it's just like telling him he's the one, but his like nickname was Neo. He was like, are you having me on here? Like, it's just like, it happens to be or not an anagram, but like mixed up with the words. I'm like, yeah, what's going on here?
Well, obviously Neo is an anagram of one for people. I think everyone kind of knows that one.
Yeah.
But his real name in this is Thomas A. Anderson.
Yeah.
And do you know the anagram thing about it?
It's a palindrome.
No,
it's not. It's not a palindrome.
If it was a palindrome, it would be so Thomas A. Anderson is his real name in this. Neo's like his hacker name.
Is it meant to be intentionally bland as shit?
So it's actually
or like plain as hell. Like,
it's an anagram of a word I didn't know, which is anastomosed. Do you know what that means?
No.
So I can't even fucking say it. Anastomomy is essentially when organs are kind of surgically bound together, which they're kind of like, it's like a connection between two organs that is surgically created.
Yeah. So,
you know the bit where he first takes the red pill and they hook him up to the machine, and he's looking at the mirror, and then he touches the mirror and the silvery stuff goes onto his fingers, and then it starts creeping up his arm, and then it goes down his throat. So see when the camera goes down his throat,
and it goes all digital, the voice, that's class.
There's like a flash in the screen for like 1 second, and you can actually see his organs are all kind of anastomosed. And I actually just made this whole thing up.
Yeah, you had me.
But that anastomose, I did put that Thomas A. Anderson thing into an anagram machine to see what word it come up, and that is an actual thing. Like, but I was just like,
because you were certain of it, you know. God, lovely. Like.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's class as well. Whenever it goes all like digital sound in his voice, and all,
unreal.
like, so cool. Like,
yeah. But when
do you know what it's also an anagram of?
What?
Eno.
Yeah. Brian Eno is actually one of the producers in this film.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the bit where he wakes up in the human form or the battery form, or what do you call that? You know?
Yeah, I'd say battery farm.
It's fucking horrifying.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like,
it's very
very unsettling. Like,
for the first time, I thought it's very like H.R. Geiger.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Very much so. Yeah,
like,
right enough.
Looks
the
like
connections, like the. Although, like, I guess his probably would be a little bit more phallic if it was Giger, but like, yeah, and like, I think there's something really unsettling as well about the things going in and out. Like, ugh,
yeah,
no, it's unsettling. Like
I've got like a wee bit of trypophobia, you know, the fear of holes and the fact that like all these tubes leave all these holes over his arms and all, it's a bit rotten.
Yeah, it's not nice. Like,
but yeah, like really disturbing. And then obviously when he gets into the Nebuchadnezzar and all, he's pure fucked after. Like, but
I don't believe it. Is that what he says?
What?
He starts like tripping out, and he like he goes like, oh, he's gonna pop.
Oh yeah,
and then
that's
he's
right.
Like, I don't believe it.
And he does like a weirdly white vomit.
Yeah.
He like pokes milk on the floor.
Milk. Oh,
it looks like milk. Like,
yeah.
The bit always freaked me out when I was younger, when he's captured by the agents.
Yeah.
And they take him into the interrogation room.
Oh yeah, and his mouth goes away.
Yeah, what is it? I've got the line written down here. What is it?
What is the point of having? Oh, what is it? Something like, if you can't speak. Or
what good is a phone call if you're unable to speak? Like, I don't know why I sounded like, I don't know what I sounded like there, but yeah, terrified the fuck out of me. And then the thing crawling into his belly button.
Yeah,
rotten.
Yeah, I do remember being on sad when I was younger about that.
Their lights just fucking flicker.
Amber alert still. I think.
Can you imagine the fucking lackey went out now? It didn't go out one. Did you?
Storm Morpheus.
Go out on Friday?
What?
Did your electricity go out on Friday?
No, just my fence.
Oh
yeah.
No, we didn't have anything, thankfully. But yeah, sorry, Matrix. The bit where he meets Trinity and all for the first time in the car, and they use that
switch an APOC.
Yeah, switch an APOC, and then Trinity uses that machine and sucks the yolk out of his belly button.
Don't like that either. I was really
rank. But one thing that kind of took me out of it, which I'd never noticed before, is that they plug that machine into the cigarette lighter.
Yeah, yeah. I actually was thinking about the other day. I'm like, it's class. You can kind of get any. If you go online, I'm pretty sure you can get anything but cigarette lighter connector. But cars even have those anymore.
They do, I think. Yeah.
Fair enough. I was thinking if it was
like
a
12 volt. They're not used for cigarettes anymore, but it's like that 12 volt connection. Like.
Yeah, I remember when it was cigarette lighter, burning my fingers when I was a kid because it was a stupid dickhead. I'm like, oh, this thing's red hot. Let me touch it.
Yeah. But I used to, like, when I first started driving, I used to smoke in the car. Man. And you should actually use one of those. Like, it was so handy. Like,
that's
you
chaotic.
Can understand why they used to have them.
Smoking while driving sounds chaotic to me. Like, but cool.
It was pretty cool at the time. Like, I remember
in
one
the Pluriel.
It was literally in the Pluriel. Like, I used to drive my Maz Citroen Pluriel, but I remember one day I went to flick a bean out the window, and I was going up the Dublin Road, and I just had it in my head. I was like, I don't think that went out of the car. And then I just, me being paranoid as fuck, I was like, I'm gonna pull over here, and I looked in the back, and it was just burning a hole in the floor, like, in the fabric. I was like, fuck. Jesus. So yeah, because when I used to work in Debenhams, I used to have to have a cigarette before I went in, and I didn't want to smoke out in public in case my mom so I just smoked in my mom's car. I don't know how she never fucking picked up on it. Like, I was also a great line when Neo first wakes up, rotten by the way. I also have not a great fear of needles. The bit where
he's covered in
the what do you call that again?
So it's not acupuncture.
It is acupuncture.
No, it's not though. So that's the thing. I was thinking about that the other day. I remember when I was young thinking, oh, that's just acupuncture. But it's not. I think it's a load of little electrodes to stimulate the growth of his muscles because he has not used them.
Oh, so you're saying it's not like a thing in real life?
No, sorry. In the context of that, it's not. No, I'm not saying any of these alternative medicines are not real. No, I think it's like all these different little spikes to try and stimulate the muscles because he's never used them. Yeah, it's like always like, is it sort of say it's like, well, you've never used your eyes before.
But that's the line I was just about to say, where Neo's like, my eyes hurt, and Morpheus like, you've never used them before.
It's cool, like
more like
Morpheus is like, they've just sort of sat and thought, like, any time there's an opportunity for him to say something kind of a little bit like
Mystic
and all, everything, it's just like, man, he would be terrible to hang out with. Like,
oh, here, you know what popped into my head watching this?
Are you coming for pints, Morpheus? I shall be there. Just all these weird things, like
stoats. You know what popped into my head watching this, and I hadn't thought about it in years, and I'm near sure you've seen it as well. Do you know what I'm going to say here?
No.
Do you remember the fart matrix?
Oh, so good. You think that's air you're breathing?
Every time. For anyone that hasn't seen it, back in the day, it was like E-Bombs World or something like that. It used to be on, like, before YouTube and all. There was like a video floating about the internet called the Fart Matrix, and it was just someone like literally edited in like fart noises to scenes out of the Matrix.
To phenomenal effect.
So the bit where like they're doing the, like, Morpheus and Neo are fighting, and Morpheus bends over and says to Neo, like, they edit in a fart as he's bending over, and then he goes,
he leans into it, like,
yeah, he goes, you think that's air you're breathing?
and then he's just like,
the wee face he pulls makes it like.
Oh, and then there's another part of it as well where he goes in to meet the Oracle.
Yeah,
he's like, smells good, doesn't it?
She lets her rip her, and she goes, woo, because she's like opening her oven, and she goes, smell good, don't they? That is so like good. Your fucking 2004 internet.
I think it'll still be funny. I think it'll still be.
Oh, I think it will be. Yeah, I need to look it up after this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fucking cracked me up. Especially the smell good, don't they? So here's another quiz question for you. The actor that plays Mouse. Now, I'm not expecting you to know his name.
I don't know his name.
But do you know what else he's in?
No.
And I don't know why I only picked up on this in this watch, because I've seen The Matrix a lot more than the other thing he's in.
An advert for Tasty Wheat.
Yeah. Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah, he's a Star Wars character that actually has a name.
What? What Star Wars?
Attack of the Clones.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait there. So he would have been slightly older then.
I'm genuinely surprised you're not getting this, because as soon as I realised it last night, I didn't even have to Google it. I was like, that's fucking him. He's got like one line in Attack of the Clones.
Don't know.
You want to buy any death sticks? Do you remember that guy?
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, right enough.
And then it's like Ewan McGregor's like, you don't want to sell me death sticks.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
So
mental.
his character's name, it's so shit. His character's name in Attack
Death
of
Stick
the Clones,
dealer or something.
Elon Sleazebagano.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking terrible.
What do you call it? The same guy as well is actually, I believe, I don't know if it's the case, but you know,
he's starting to believe
the Animatrix. I know obviously it's something that I think you're maybe watching some of as well.
Yeah, is that?
So I think the one where he's in a school and he's on a skateboard.
I really enjoyed that one actually.
Yeah,
so,
I think it's him.
In prep for this, I also watched the Animatrix. We'll go into that.
Oh no, wait there. Sorry, it's not. It's not.
No, it's not, because Neo.
No, it's the guy that's at the start of the second one. He gets him out. So the Animatrix came out just before the second movie came out.
Did it? Yeah.
So the start, there's a lot of ones that actually lead, but like fill a gap between the first and the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who was Mouse then?
So not Mouse. No, I was completely wrong.
All right. Okay.
I'm complete talk shit.
I actually really enjoyed that school one. I thought it was brilliant.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's almost. It almost looks like the. So for everyone as well, I would say, if you are interested in sort of like short stories, sci-fi, like Love, Death and Robots, anything like that, I would say watch it. Or if you have an interest in Matrix in general, because thankfully it came out just before Reloaded and before
it all went to shit.
Okay, I guess it's maybe a little bit unfair to say it all went to shit, because I think I was young enough to see them all. So I remember going to see this, getting my dad to bring me to see the second one in the cinema.
I got fucked out of the cinema.
Why? Just too young, like?
Too young, because it was 15 to get in.
Yeah.
And my brother Lewis took me, and it was back in the day where you just go up and get a ticket. So he bought like the tickets, and I waited back, and then him, and I think it was whoever he's going out with at the time, took me in. Yeah. And the manager just when we sat down, the manager walked straight up to us and was like, he can't be in here.
I thought you were allowed to, if you had an adult to like take you.
With 12A's you could, but never with 15s.
Oh, my dad took me and it was grand, I think.
Yeah. But I remember the manager, like, he wasn't a dick or anything about it, and he was like, oh, you're gonna have to like leave, and then he's like, you can go see anything else, like so the only thing that else was on, which I don't fucking remember anything about the plot, but I remember it was the film Bringing Down the House. Steve Martin and Queen Latifah.
Oh,
it was like some
Christ.
shit comedy, like.
Fuck.
So never got to see Reloaded in the cinema, but I think Reloaded is probably a bit underrated, if anything.
I think they get an unjust hard time. Well, no, they justifiably get a hard time. I enjoyed them all because I love the universe so much. I was young. I was just so into it. But also, if someone asked me, is it better if the second and third one never existed, I'd probably say yeah.
Okay.
Just like that as a flash of complete glory.
Yeah.
And then maybe animated stuff in the universe, but like the other movies, I feel like I enjoyed them and I have so many memorable bits of them and I thought they're really cool. But whenever I watch them, whenever I'm older, I can much clearer see how the quality significantly dipped.
Yeah. Well,
or the purpose or the point.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of just like yeah, I don't know. I feel like the idea of what was impending or all these different things suggested might have been more powerful than it all happening.
I think one of the main problems. Fuck me, that coffee fucked me up. One of the main problems I think is, and I just kind of really thought about this today when I was reading up on trivia and stuff, is the original Matrix was like an idea that the Wachowski siblings had concocted, and from them starting to write it and actually putting it into production was 5 years. They had 5 years to perfect this, and then when they were kind of selling it around to the studios, they got some guy whose name I definitely should have write down to storyboard it for them. And they
is he one of the Joel Silver? Is he one of the main guys?
Maybe could be.
I think he was one of the people that sort of helped make the film with them, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
So this artist or whoever they got him to storyboard 600 storyboards, and then it was only when they took that to the studios that it was like Warner Brothers were like, okay, we'll make that. Now that we can. Because their script was going around and it was notoriously hard to understand.
Yeah, fair enough.
And another thing that they did was they gave like a reading list for the cast.
Okay, cool.
Have you heard of that book? It's fucking hell. Why didn't
The Android's Dream of Electric Sheep?
No, that's fucking Philip K. Dick.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that just ends up coming up with so much sci-fi. I'm just like, maybe that, I don't know.
It's essentially like a book about simulations. It's called Simulacrum and something.
Oh, and
sounds familiar. They made all the cast read that, and only when they understood that, then would they allow them to be in the film or whatever.
Oh, fair enough.
So apparently, Keanu Reeves had like rinsed all the reading material. He was like, I completely get that. And Carrie-Anne Moss was like, I kind of struggled with that a wee bit. Like, but so like the amount of time it took them and the amount of love and patience they put into the first film. I think after it came out and it was so successful, the studio were like, right, sequel, quick, give us a sequel. And then, I don't know if you remember
I think
this,
you're right,
but I'm pretty sure Reloaded and Revelations...
like a year apart or 2 years?
1 year apart, yeah. So, like, there was
it's not a recipe. Yeah, it's not a recipe for good quality content. Like, that's another thing as well. I maybe I'm wrong, but was Chad Zaleski like the stunt director or something on that? I think he might have started. That's where he came from. He
was definitely
involved, as you know.
Yeah, I don't know actually. I know, like, because obviously he's the John Wick director.
Yeah.
But he was originally like a stuntman. I don't know if he was in the Matrix.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Here's a fun fact for you about Chad Stahelski. Do you know what?
Stahelski. Oh, sorry.
Do you know what?
I've been calling her Crab Apple.
Do you know what role he did take over?
No.
Do you know? Again, a film I've never seen. You know where Brandon Lee died in the set of The Crow?
Yeah.
It was Chad Stahelski that stepped in.
No way.
Yeah.
Apparently the remake of that wasn't.
It looked shit.
Yeah, it kind of sounded like it would have been good because was it Bill Skarsgård and what do you call her, FKA Twigs?
Yeah,
she was bizarre, isn't it? Like,
yeah, she's got some good tunes.
Yeah, I actually was listening to her new album on the car. Yesterday.
But yeah, sorry, what was I talking about?
The Matrix. Oh yeah,
The Matrix.
All of these other films that are not Matrix.
Yeah. But. So here's a question for you, and this is again one I probably could have googled but didn't because I thought you might know.
Yeah.
It says in the film at one point that their reason that they're all there is because there was someone in the Matrix that was like so powerful that he figured out how to get out of the Matrix.
Yeah.
And then
that was the first version, was it?
And it was him that recruited everyone.
Okay.
Is that Neo then?
I think it was the equivalent.
Because it comes out in the sequels that what's happening has already happened.
Yeah.
And it happens with every new version of the Matrix. Someone kind of wakens itself up and becomes the one and then destroys the current version and then the robots rebuild it.
And that's also why the same thing happened to Smith in the end. It's like they're opposites. Like it's like one is like a reaction to the other.
Okay.
Batman
and the Joker.
Yeah, I think it is kind of supposed to be like because then by the end, I just actually remember the third one, like the streets filled with Smith and all this sort of stuff. And the other ones are so forgettable compared to the first one.
Yeah, 100%. Like we rewatched the second and third one maybe like a year ago because we did the Matrix pretty recently.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anything. I don't remember how the end or anything.
Yeah, they're really nowhere near as memorable. Like,
Have you seen the fourth one?
I forgot it so quick. I
I've
remember
heard it's terrible.
It's
I'm
terrible.
afraid to watch
It's
it,
not good. Like, although, like, I remember watching it, and there was a couple of points where I was like, "This is pure fan service," but I'm all right with it. Like, then it brought me on with things at the start, and then it was just dung. Like, it was just not.
It was Lana Wachowski that directed it.
I think so. Yeah.
Because apparently when she was making that, like, there's a lot of stuff in the film that is just a big fuck you to the studio.
Yeah.
Like Matrix and like Neo being a game developer that didn't want to come back to do this, but they made him come back and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
She apparently just did it for the money and then kind of wrote in a load of little wee fucking digs to the studio in the film. But again, I've not seen it. Like,
that's like. I wonder why she wanted to do it if you're going to do that. Like, but like, why would you do that to your work?
For money.
But you like. They created something, and obviously, like, I as time's gone on, you could see that project and what they writ was worth a lot more to them on a personal level.
Yeah.
Like their journey and all that sort of stuff. So, like,
yeah.
I feel that you'd think that it would probably mean a lot if you were just cashing in on a sequel sort of thing. That like something that was so personal that in the end, that I don't know. I don't think the fourth one's. I would say to anyone that was thinking about watching it, if you love The Matrix, just don't bother.
Yeah, okay.
Just don't bother.
I'm really interested though.
It's like something you're just like, it's going to look rotten, but I kind of need to see it myself. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Back on a point, what you're saying earlier is probably why we enjoyed this so much, because when I was watching it again yesterday, all I could think of was like, this movie does have everything.
Yeah.
It's got guns. It's got like cool fashion.
It's got leather.
Yeah. And it's got fucking kung fu. Like, it's a kung fu sci-fi action run and gun.
It's no right.
It's fucking. It's got everything. Like,
it's unbelievable. I think
dystopian. It's got everything.
Yeah, like I think that's another thing you mentioned there as well. I feel that like it's something that's so heavily referenced, but whenever you said that, I'm like, yeah, and I can't think of anything that references it now.
One of the Scary Movie. Oh, Scary Movie 3.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember Queen Latifah?
Yeah.
Full circle.
Wow,
Queen Latifah played the Oracle in it.
Yeah.
And do you remember there's two which is farting in the chair.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it must be in the chair. And then she just lets one rip and goes, yes, the chair. The bit, because it's like the Matrix mixed in with the Ring.
Yeah.
And they're watching the tape and it shows you a lighthouse and they're like, oh my God, it's a... And she just goes... a giant cigarette. She goes to put a fag out and just opens a drawer and it's just full of bangs.
Constantly smoking. Yeah.
Unreal. But yeah, so obviously Scary Movie 3 referenced it a good bit. There was a load of spoof movies back then. I can't think.
So, yeah.
I read something apparently in the 2 years since the first Matrix came out, it was referenced 20 times in popular culture.
No, I will believe
officially,
it.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
The iconic like bullet time thing.
Oh my God.
And
like I think that's like it like it's kind of maybe aged a bit now, but no one does anything like it still.
No.
Like, even though maybe the technology and the way they happened it, I remember watching like them break it down how they did it with all the cameras.
The cameras, yeah.
And like it's cool, and they could probably do it so much easier now.
Yeah.
But would it have the same impact now? Because like it was almost impressive.
You could just do it in CGI now.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work.
So like for anyone that isn't overly familiar with how they did the bullet time thing, so like say for example in the opening action scene with Trinity in the building, so fun fact, it actually took them 4 months to rehearse that and 4 days to film it. But the bit where like Trinity jumps up in the air and does the the crane kick and then the camera swoops around her, it's actually like a bunch of cameras. This is something the Wachowskis invented. A load of cameras in a big loop and they all take a picture at the same time. And what we're seeing is just each of those cameras picture put together, pasted frame by frame after each other, so it looks like the froze time. Amazing. Which is so fucking cool. Like,
amazing. And then even the same thing is applied then to whatever.
That was in Scary Movie 1. Do you remember Cindy in Scary Movie 2? Remember she's fighting like the ghost and she does the crane kick?
Yeah.
Sorry, I think all these references are going to be.
I think that's in as well. Whenever Smith and Neo were kind of like grab each other and shooting, and then it's motion as well. So they were going around as they were like, so cool. Like, and was that in the subway at the end? Yeah.
And do you know what I thought? Something that always stuck with me when I was younger. One of the coolest things I've ever seen in a fight scene is the bit where where Neo goes to punch Smith. Smith catches his fist and then Neo just
have you seen the thing where
someone's edited it? So every punch in that fight is that punch, like
every time, like
so good.
It's very good.
Okay, another quiz question for you here. the song. This is testing your music and Matrix knowledge. The song at the end. No, not the song at the end. Sorry,
Rage Against the Machine. Wake Up.
It's not the song at the end.
Oh.
Fuck the song. Dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun. What part of the film's that in again? My own fucking podcast. Do you know what the song's called?
Yeah. No, I can't remember actually.
Club to Death.
Club to Death.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Who's it by?
It's a really normal name, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like John Smith or something.
Agent
is it?
Smith. I didn't write it down.
No, fair enough.
Right, here's one that caught me off guard.
Yeah.
The bit where he's in the Oracle's flat.
Yeah.
And he's waiting to go in. The wee kid with the
Spoon Boy.
spoon.
Yeah.
That's a famous actor.
Oh, this is
Famous
fun.
now.
This is fun. This is fun. Famous now. I don't know. It's probably Nicholas Hoult or something. It's not Nicholas Hoult, no, because we all know.
Any idea?
Oh, this is a good one. No, I don't know. For the purposes of not hogging this for long as I want to guess.
Josh Brolin. No, I just made
That
it
boy?
up. It's a nobody.
Josh Brolin.
What was that?
That
The
boy?
opposite?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
It's an absolute nobody. I don't know who it is. It's
Oh.
actually Yuri Geller.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why he was hired for the role.
It's pretty good,
He was wearing a green screen suit. Okay, now my notes are so bad. Literally, I just have the Oracle. Would you? What is the Oracle then?
The Oracle.
Because there's no representation of her in real life. Is she just a program?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like it seems like some sort of attempt of like balance, but then you're kind of like, that's one thing as well. Like they go to her for these sort of directions, but the thing is always that the decisions have been made. These things are all constant, and there's no. It's about understanding. But
it's like everyone's fate is predetermined. That's essentially what it comes out with, isn't it?
Like, I always wonder that as well, because I'm like, if you are a program as well, why? What's the what's the purpose of her being able to provide this information to direct something in a direction, or to
that's already predetermined?
That's already predetermined.
Yeah, it's like I really like the line as well when she's like, "Don't worry about the vase," and he's like, "What vase?" He knocks it over.
Oh yeah,
and then he's like, oh, "How did you know?" And she goes, "She's lighting her fag." When she said, "She goes, what's really going to fry your head is if would you still knocked it over if I hadn't have said that?"
Yeah, you're like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Like,
so. Do you think
she really just fucking hate the vase or something? Like, take that out for me there, but will you?
So do you think she's just like the good version of the agents? Like she's like a.
I think it's all a balance thing. Like, like because they said that this happened before and it was destroyed. This was the new version or whatever. Yeah. I think it's that these are different mechanisms in place to keep balance and to keep the like. Do you know what it's like? Because it's a big program. It's like defragmenting your computer, like something that just sits there and does something to make everything work.
I was gonna say, do you think she's just like Clippy, the paper clip from Microsoft Word back in the day?
Yeah. Useless hints, like they just make confuse you more. Like,
looks like you're writing in an invite. But is she replaced? Is she?
I think in the third one. I think in the third one. Yeah,
I thought that. But is it written into the movie or is it just a recasting?
I actually don't remember, but I do remember thinking that. I was like, wait there, what's going on here? Like, yeah, I believe in the third one it might have been.
For enough.
For the second one.
I was also thinking watching this. See this Halloween?
Yeah.
You should 100% go as Cypher.
Oh, Joe Pantoliano, is it?
Yeah.
Just talk about steak all night.
Yeah, that'd be a great one though.
My mind's telling
you could do that mustache
juicy
combo, like.
Yeah, I could do.
I think you should do it, and I'll go as
him in Sopranos. Yeah. And start doing boys.
Yeah, we just all go as Joey Pants. Like,
Joey Pants. Like,
what else is he in?
Also around the same time in Memento with Carrie-Anne Moss as well.
I haven't seen that in years. I don't remember that. Funny enough.
Brilliant movie. Brilliant. Also Mindbender.
Like, I remember liking it. Oh, he was in Memento, wasn't he?
Yeah. It's a brilliant. Maybe not, but it is fantastic.
He's in the Goonies as well.
No, he's not.
He's one of the bad guys in the Goonies.
Yeah. Do you know who that other kid is? Josh Brolin.
Right, no, Josh Brolin. Full circle.
Yeah.
I think you should generally go with Cypher following. He's a great villain in this as well.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Although he doesn't really get as much of a chance, but like I think it's pretty. Although I think I remember watching it there last week and being like, here, like he's this guy's with the right idea. Like I'd be like, pump me back in. I was
just about to say that because I think a good villain is one that you can really understand their motivation.
Yeah, 100%.
I would be like, 100%. Like,
and then like Smith just sorts him out with like witness protection program. Like, what do you want? Like, let me set you up. Although that's another thing as well. They're probably just gonna put him back in and like, dude, they can't. They probably won't hold up their end of the bargain. Like, that's another thing. Like.
What the fuck am I looking at here? My notes, they confuse myself. I just have it down here. How is Morpheus not catching strays? And I just remember what that was in reference to.
Oh, he says that or something, doesn't there? Like somebody says that somebody refers to him about catching strays.
No, you're making a dick yourself here, Shane. Fuck's sake.
What is it?
When he's getting his mind broken.
Neo?
No, Morpheus.
Morpheus.
You know when they're trying to find out the coordinates of Zion?
Yeah.
And he's
the mainframe.
They put that fucking silver stuff in his neck.
Yeah.
And he's all like Undertaker.
Oh, yeah.
So then Neo and Trinity turn up in the helicopter, and
Yeah.
Neo just fucking sprays the room with a minigun.
Although, look, I actually was thinking about this as well. This is the level of the amount of times we've watched it. Like,
when threat protection.
Oh,
fuck off of the ground.
That's pretty. Humans are a virus.
Oh my god!
Oh, the stink.
That is so good. That scene as well. Hugo
really
Weaving is just
class,
unbelievable in everything he's in.
Yeah, and that's as well.
All those two things I've seen him in, unbelievable. And this and Lord of the Rings.
Also, with the Wachowskis, put him into what do you call it? V for Vendetta.
They didn't direct V for Vendetta.
Producers, writers,
I think. But I always thought they directed it. I watched it again recently, and
they were definitely heavily involved.
It's something to do with that. I forgot he's in that. It's a good movie. I
didn't find out he was V until like years later. Like,
yeah, it's not as good as I remembered, but it's definitely still worth a watch. V for Vendetta, like.
Very much so. I'll never forget it as well because I remember. One of the luckiest. Do you know Framed? Do you still play Framed?
Yeah.
Like so I remember getting.
Did you get it today?
No, I didn't do it today. Actually, I need to do it. But I remember getting one where it was just like at night time in London on like the back of St Paul's Cathedral or something like that, and I was just like, man, FIFA Vendetta. I got it one. I was like, what?
You feel unreal when you get it.
Oh, unbelievable. Well, though sometimes though, if it's such a guess and if it's a pure guess and you get it in one, you're like, it's not the same as none.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I just want to talk briefly about the Animatrix here. So, as Shane kind of said earlier, it came out between the first two movies, and it's essentially like a Love, Death and Robots like short story set in the Matrix universe, all done by different animators, and I'm assuming different writers as well. I think
so. Yeah.
Like I actually probably.
I think it was like an artistic or like the kind of overseeing direction from Wachowskis.
Yeah. And like Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss were in it, were they?
I think their voices maybe at one point. Yeah, I think so.
Like,
yeah,
well, they're fucking cartoons. They hardly fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
they took the red and blue pill and went animated.
So I think my favorite one, there was a two-parter one, and it was called the Renaissance Part 1 and the Renaissance Part 2, and essentially it's an animated story of how the world of the Matrix is set and came about. Yeah, it's really good. Like, it kind of fucked up the movie for me a wee bit. Yeah, because you're watching it and like spoilers for the Animatrix, but that's lore, I suppose. So it's essentially robots were used as like slaves in the world. And so artificial intelligence, very similar sort of pathway the world was on, but then using artificial intelligence in actual physical robots and machines to carry out tasks. So it's not like there's AI like we see it in modern day with ChatGPT like takes over. It's like they're physical robots with AI in them, right? Yeah, and they're essentially used as slaves, and then one of them turns on one of their masters and kills them, and there's a big court case about it. And it goes to like the Supreme Court, and there's a new and they're like, well, you know, he's created to be like a human, so we have to give him a fair trial. So then the robot loses the trial, and then they start outlawing robots. So they essentially cull all the robots, and the robots are all just like people looking things, like metal. And then the robots end up like retreating to go to the cradle of humanity. And they form their own city. What's it called again? Something 01. Yeah, 01, right? And then the humans are like, oh, what the fuck, you can't form your own city. So then they try to become a part of the UN. And the humans fuck them off, and the humans declare war on them. So the whole stupid move, like thing, but the whole thing made me be like, the humans did this, like 100%, and like obviously the humans did it before. I knew that because they created the AI, but created in their own image to destroy, and they do it, and they like it's just a big circle of. But the AI was sound. It wasn't like a big evil thing. No, it wasn't. It was like, oh, we just want to, be live alongside you, and the humans are like, no, and the humans fucked them up. And then they were like, oh, their source of power is the sun. We're going to torch the sky. And then they like nuked their own sky. You idiot. Like, why would you do that? That's essentially why they had to start farming humans. Because they defeated the humans. They're like, well, you're actually giving out a lot of heat and energy, so we're going to put that to use. And that's where the humans formed. And they put the humans in the Matrix, which is a pretty good deal for what the fucking humans did to the robots. So then I was... Everyone kind of wins, don't they? Like, it kind of fucked me up a bit, my view in the Matrix, because I was like, well... The robots weren't really the bad guys at the start. They are now because of what they're doing now. But like the Animatrix painted the robots as the good guys.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
ultimately humans are assholes, like jerks, like the worst. Like,
what was it, that Futurama thing?
No.
Remember the scary door?
No.
Where it's like a mad scientist took aspects of the world's most evil animals, and then like it puts them in the machine to create a new monster,
Yeah.
and then it's like it's just some guy walks out and goes, spoiler, it's man. It's just a human walks out, like but yeah, so that kind of fucked up my view of the Matrix lore a wee bit.
I was really glad, like I feel like it was, whenever you're watching it you kind of see like what happened, but it doesn't really go into that very much. So I remember watching that being like, this is amazing, this is fantastic. It does it all quite quickly, but it really gives you a good, and then
that's one your tattoo's from.
Yes,
show your tattoo to the camera.
Show it to the camera.
So this is from the Animatrix. That's like the part of the rope.
Renaissance Part 2.
Yeah, that's
kind of confusing. I remember like,
because we're looking out for that the whole time we watch that. Like,
yeah, and the tune that's on as well. I think that's it. I remember I was saying that recently. I was like, I remember buying that Animatrix on DVD.
Yeah.
With my confirmation money.
Oh my god.
And Linkin Park Meteora as well.
Oh my god.
In Woolworths.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Did you buy a pair of kickflip jeans that day as well?
Probably, like big flame shirt and all. Like,
you definitely had one of those flame shirts.
Pick and mix, like what do you call it? But yeah, like it's class. It's and that's it as well. Like another example where the music in it is unbelievable as well.
Yeah,
but I think I remember because
you use a lot of the score of the Matrix as well.
Yeah, but because you have the Animatrix Blu-ray of mine, there's nowhere you can stream it without like paying for it. Like you can't. Yeah. Like it's not. I was looking for all the streaming services and I'm like, what the hell? But somebody has put it onto YouTube.
Oh really?
But I remember like trying to find it as well, and I forgot what the name was. But it was like the Second Renaissance Part 2.
Yeah,
and I'm like, but the video was in 2 parts, so it was the second Renaissance part 2, Part 1. And I was like, wait, what?
When I was watching the Animatrix, I finished it this morning. I'm so bad at watching everything in one go. I always start it too late and then fall asleep. So there was like a short story about a woman looking for a cat.
Yeah,
I was thinking,
is that the one with the house?
Yeah, it's like a haunted house. They say it's like the most haunted place in Tokyo or whatever.
But it's because where like there's a glitch, or where like it was like they put a house on top of something, a glitch that something wasn't working.
Yeah,
and that's why like all the rules are kind of broken inside the house and all. Like,
yeah, and I found myself thinking when I was watching that, I was like, is there like a fucking animal farm where all the animals are hooked up to the Matrix? Wow. And I was wondering that, and I actually wrote down to ask you that. And then when I was doing the research and the trivia, apparently the Wachowskis actually come out and said all animals are simulations. They're all computer code. Oh, no. And then that probably harks back to why Neo sees the black cat twice.
No. Yeah.
He's like, deja vu.
This is they're messing with the code. Like,
do you remember that video?
Deja vu. Yeah.
So someone edited it, like, so the bit in the Matrix where Neon's why do you keep calling him Neon? Where Neo's like, oh, that's deja vu, and then someone edited just a wee car drifting past.
Yeah, it was like deja vu.
But yeah, so Animatrix, I think I enjoyed about 50% of it. There was the running one was cool.
Yeah.
So what is it? Essentially, the guy ran so fast that he exited the Matrix.
So yeah, I think it was a really good example as well. So for a bit of context, it's called World Record, I believe, and then this is again another story of different short stories within the universe. But in this case, it's a runner, and the case of somebody, a runner at their peak trying to push and push and push, but similar the characters in the Matrix movie and their ability to bend the rules or break the rules. Yeah. This person, through sheer perseverance and an effort and talent and skill and training, all is able to like push through the rules, and therefore like you can say at one point their legs start to bust open, but they're going faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. But at this point, you can see all the agents catch on someone's doing this. Very, very cool idea.
And he wakes up in the pod then.
Yeah.
And then he goes back under.
So cool.
That was I like that one. The one at the start where the fucking the 3D one where the couple are fighting and they're like cutting each other's clothes off.
Yeah, that's a bit.
I thought I'm not spoiling it, but it was I thought the whole thing was pointless. I literally, when it ended, I went, "What the fuck was the point in that?"
That actually is a precursor to the second one. The call that comes in to warn them about.
There's a bit where he goes, "They're right above Zion" or something like that, and I was like, "Oh, that must be when the fucking Sentinels." It's the third one, is it not? Where the Sentinels find Zion.
It happens in the second one, I think, maybe.
I thought it was the third one.
They're on the way or something like that, or like there's a move or something. I can't remember exactly what it is. But then Jada Pinkett's in it. Second one.
Yeah. And here, actually,
the game as well.
I was just about to say, I want to talk about the games, right?
The game was brilliant.
So there was,
was it
Enter the Matrix?
Enter the Matrix. I think I remember it being great, but like
Probably didn't age well.
no, probably not. Like
But like you could run up walls in it.
Yeah.
Neo wasn't in it.
no,
it
it was
was
Niobe and Ghost.
Nairobi or Niobe?
Niobe.
And who's Ghost again? Was he in the films?
He was in the second one, but like they're feature in the second one, but like kind of lightly,
Okay.
not really that much. But in the game, so that's another cool thing about the game. I know obviously we're going to talk sort of involves the second one a little bit, but when filming the second one, they actually filmed additional scenes for the game.
No way.
Yeah, it was really, really cool actually.
Oh,
So there's
that's
bits that kind of fill in. So if you actually watch all the different bits, the live action bits in the game,
Yeah.
it fills in what happened behind the scenes of parts of the second movie,
Oh,
which
that's
is very
cool.
cool. Yeah.
I can't imagine that has aged well. There was
No.
another one, Path of Neo. Do you remember it?
I remember, but I don't think I played it.
I never played it as
Yeah.
well, but I think someone recently did it. I think it might have been either Donkey or Mr. Sunday Movies. Most likely Mr. Sunday Movies, because he's got a segment called Caravan of Garbage where he goes and reviews old things. Like, but it doesn't have to be necessarily a bad thing. It
Yeah.
did at the start, but it's taken on a new meaning.
Mm.
But one of the things I went back and played was Path of Neo, and it just looks fucking shit. Like it didn't age well at all.
It's the
like,
type of thing, like, I think that's it as well. It's the type of thing that almost seems too perfect. Like, it seems so obvious that you would be able to make a game good of it.
yeah.
But yet, no one did, like.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the Flash game?
The Flash
Matrix
game.
Bullet Time.
No.
It was like a side scrolling. It was on like mini clip or something like that.
No.
And it was like a side scrolling game where you could hit like a slow motion button and like max pain through the arm.
No.
But
No.
you could play multiplayer, so you could like one person on one side of the keyboard, the other person on the other.
That's his class.
It was unreal back in
Yeah.
the day. Like I think
Best
I played it in
non-official content to ever come out of the movie, like.
yeah, primary school or something. I think I played it. It was class. I think that was really it for Matrix games. Well, I know for the
Yeah.
new one coming out, Microsoft did like a
Oh,
Unreal
yeah.
Engine type.
So yeah, the demo for what was it called? The Matrix Awakens or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Demo. It was pretty damn impressive.
The
looking,
graphics
be
were meant to be
honest.
class. I never actually. It wasn't really a game. It was more.
It was a
just
tech
like
demo.
Tech
yeah,
demo,
but I think it was a pretty cool use of it, because you're like, well, what was around, or what were people looking at as this sort of this benchmark or this new example of amazing technology, or what the future will be for movies, and then they use it for this game engine, which is pretty cool. Like, I guess so. It's a game engine, but it's also like used in movie production and everything now. So
yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
yeah, pretty unreal.
Right. I want to get into a bit of trivia here.
Oh, good. Hit me.
You probably know most of this.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't.
No? Well, the one I'll come to it after.
I find that even with movies that I love, like a lot of the stuff that like I probably should know, I end up having no clue about. Like, so that's
Well,
it'll probably be.
The one that everyone knows is that Will Smith was originally meant to play Neo.
So I actually think I was online earlier on and seen something, and apparently that wasn't necessarily true. It was apparently to do with a song. It was meant to be a song in it with something to do with him.
No, I don't think so. Like it's like I googled it earlier. Like I almost said YouTubed it there.
I don't know. I think I seen something and didn't. Do you know that time where you're like, oh, I seen something? It's like, did you read it? It's like, I read the title
The headline,
that
yeah.
suggested something.
But the reason I'm bringing this up is
Mhm.
because that seems to be one everyone knows. So apparently, what
Mhm.
happened was Will Smith turned down The Matrix to make The Wild Wild West,
I've heard that one. Yes, that is one.
which is essentially probably a more successful box office, critically, and just cult wise, probably way better than The Matrix Wild Wild West.
What?
Yeah,
Are you
Remember,
serious?
Like they've got the big spider thing and all.
Yeah, it was
Kenneth
like dung.
Branagh, like. Oh, Wild Wild West is one of my not shit. It's completely
Yeah, I was
shit,
like, what? What?
But like that is like one of those things that's generally touted as one of the biggest
Oh my
career regrets
God.
of all time.
Oh, jeez, absolutely. Like, yeah, fair.
Did you see Will Smith come out there like a week or two ago and kind of hinted that he's going to be in a new Matrix? He did like an Instagram post and he is like, everyone knows the story of why I didn't blah blah blah. And I forget what it was. Again, should have fucking looked this up before
His
recording
wife was in it, so
Oh, right enough.
yeah.
But he's
Niobe,
dropped
yeah.
something on Instagram there like a week or two ago.
We should get his
hinting-
wife's name out of our mouths.
walks in here and slaps the heads of us. But he dropped something hinting that he's going to have something to do with the Matrix now. Maybe they're just going to re-edit him into
That
it.
sounds like it's like, do you know what was a great idea? Whichever everyone was like completely ripping the arse of the fact that could have happened and it would have been disaster. Maybe.
I don't think it would have been a disaster. I just think it would have been a completely different film.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the same. Like, I feel like that's actually unfair as well. Will Smith's like, there's some movies where he's actually fantastic, and like,
But-
I just feel that like I guess my remembrance or my image of Will Smith is kind of like this sort of sarky,
Yeah.
sort of like wisecracking sort of thing,
Yeah,
and I just
100%.
because he does that well, but I
Yeah.
don't think that would have lent itself to the character. But that's assuming that he would have done that, which is
Yeah.
not true. Like.
But they also wanted Brad Pitt and Val Kilmer in
Val Kilmer,
before
Val Kilmer,
they even
yeah.
looked at Keanu. Like,
Val Kilmer, yeah.
could have been good. Like,
At that time, I think, like, what year did Heat come out?
oh,
98.
What year did Heat come out?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought did he come out?
Did he come out? I was like, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Heat.
I never knew that.
Ooh, yeah, I should know this.
Yeah, 98,
I think.
97?
But no, he was out before Heat, was he?
Oh, I know, but I'm just trying to think about, like, what was his world like at the time? What was he doing? Like,
I think him and Brad just turned it down. They're like,
fair enough.
But yeah, so I don't know what Will is hinting at the moment, but whatever it is, it's probably going to be shite. So I wouldn't worry too much about
Could be
it.
one of these cases where maybe the studio own it or Warner Brothers own a portion of it now, and they're able to do with it what they want, and they're doing something like that, which would be a disaster. But
Yeah. Right. Moving on. So one thing I noticed when looking at it is how everything has like a green tint in the film.
yeah.
But then only when reading up today was it pointed out to me that it's only in The Matrix.
Yeah.
And the reason the Wachowskis put like a green color palette on the films or the scenes that were filmed in The Matrix is to give you the feel as if you're watching it through a computer monitor.
Oh.
So like the green kind of right,
Yeah.
which is essentially the marketing and the
Yeah.
aesthetics for the entire film. Like,
And I think that's it as well. Like, and then it makes it good though, because obviously stylistically it's a cool choice. Like, I bet you that's one of these like movies as well that people look at, like, you know, people in the film industry, like colorists and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But like the contrast as well when you're in the real world, and it's kind of like bluey almost.
yeah, the real
But, like,
world is
cooling. I don't know why they chose that, but like it works really well. Like,
100%.
Yeah.
The real world is more blue. They use a bluer color palette.
Yeah.
But we're trying to achieve as little blue as possible, but to make it look bleaker. Because
Yeah.
apparently blue brings a bit more brightness to things.
and also, do you know, I think whenever I was watching it again, I feel that like there's not very much. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of felt like the blue is heavy, but there's very almost next to no like red or anything like
Yeah.
of that. Like, like it's almost like look, maybe I'm thinking this into this too much, but it's almost like they didn't have anything, or like even lights and stuff that pop up. There's very little that's like strikingly red.
The
So the
woman in
only
red.
time that the woman in red, yeah,
Yeah.
the only time you see red then is when it's the eyes of the. And it stands out so much against
Eyes
the
of
bluey,
what?
the eyes of the Sentinels,
Oh, yeah.
and like
Oh,
the
yeah.
lasers that they use. So like whenever you see it, like this cold sort of thing, but whenever they are red on screen, they're really striking. They stand
Yeah.
out and they're scary almost because it's such a contrast.
That's a
Really
good
getting
point.
into things here, yeah.
Yeah. So Morpheus is the god of dreams in Greek mythology.
Oh, I
Which is
didn't know.
ironic
That. Oh
because
yeah, I think I did. Yeah,
His
yeah.
characters are constantly trying to wake people from their dreams.
Yeah, right
So,
enough.
Carrie-Anne Moss twisted her ankle. In
I think I remember that. Yeah, and she lied about it,
Yeah,
didn't
she
she?
didn't tell anyone because she was afraid they'd recast her.
That was a good choice.
Yeah.
Don't know about the ankle, but
What the fuck? Yeah, this is one of the most interesting ones I read, and it kind of blew my mind a wee bit. The character Switch.
Yeah.
In the original draft, it was meant to be when she was in the real world, she was a woman. She was meant to be a man in the Matrix.
okay.
And that's why the name was Switch.
Oh, that would have been a good idea.
The studio shut it down.
Why? Because that's good as well. Because then, like, that's what. Oh, that would actually make a lot of sense, actually.
So the
Because
studio,
like that's how you present. That's how your brain is in the world. This is your presentation of your mental self.
so that was one of the
projection
things
of
the
your-
Wachowskis were saying, that when they were making the Matrix, they were both thinking of going under gender reaffirming surgery.
Yeah,
so that was
yeah.
one of the things they wanted to put into it.
Oh,
And the studio were like pure shut them down. Like, but
did they watch the movie? Like, although yeah, I do think that's it as well. That's also like the whole like the what the movie means and the layers of it. There's so many. Like, I feel like whenever you watch it now as an adult, and you say you get a lot more out of it. Like,
Yeah.
I can see that. Like, I can imagine them writing something with these layers of complexity.
Yeah.
That you could watch it without any of them, and
Yeah.
it would still be a phenomenal film.
Yeah.
But now to see that they were able
When
to
you dig
achieve
a bit
that
into
and
it,
have
like-
it made, and what it probably meant to them at that time
yeah.
is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Like,
That one blew my mind. I thought that was really cool.
yeah, I didn't know. That's actually one of the things in the movie that I always quote.
Not like this.
Not like
Not
this.
like this.
Not
Yeah,
like
I
this.
swear to God, I love
Always
that
like,
line.
always like.
But yeah, that blew my mind a wee bit. Like,
Yeah, that's good. That would have been a really good idea.
Yeah. One of the other things, so I never picked up on this either.
Mm.
Neo in the real world, before he's taken out of the Matrix, all his clothes are very shabby and too big for him,
Yeah.
and it's to give you a sense that he didn't feel like he fit in his world.
Subtle, but fair enough. Yeah.
It's one of those things. Like one of the Wachowskis could have turned around years later and be like, "Oh yeah, that's why we did that."
Like
there,
that's also kind of what it's like whenever you're in school and you're like going through poems and they're pulling these things out and you're like, I don't believe it. Like, no way.
The curtains were red to address her crippling depression. Like, you know.
Yeah. Like, what they actually refer to as the light of, for say, a computer screen or like poem written in like 1900s or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
those bastards in their mansions. So early on in the film, when Switch and all going back to the scene where they pick Neo up in the car and put the yoke over his belly button. Yeah. Switch calls Neo Copper Top.
Copper Top.
Yeah, that's like their slang for a Duracell battery.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
That's a good way of putting it.
That's cool, yeah.
And one thing that blew my mind as well. So I was actually thinking about.
I actually don't know a lot of these. Actually,
no. So Tank, the character, and his brother Dozer, they were both born inside.
So that's why
so that's why they can't go into the Matrix.
Yeah,
purebred.
Yeah.
But have you noticed
100% human?
Tank isn't in the sequels.
No.
So he had like a falling out with the studio or something over money.
Right.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. But just when I was reading up,
and then you get Link though. What do you call him? In the second one, he's like the guy that jacks you. No, he's the guy in the computer. What do you call it? What's his name? He's in Lost. Michael in Lost, and he's in like. Is he in? What do you call it? What do you call
it? From.
He's in From. What do you call the other one? Is he in Oz? He's in Oz as well, I think.
Oh, he's again in the wheelchair in Oz.
I think I haven't seen Oz, but I just think he's in it.
He is. He's the narrator in Oz.
I like
in the wheelchair.
him, yeah. Yes, he is.
I forget the actor's name, but I know who you're on about.
Yeah.
Does he replace? Is he Tank like, though, or is he a different character?
No, he's a different. Oh no, sorry. He's just like the new guy. That person. Like,
okay.
Yeah. Like,
well,
what do you call him? I can't remember what you call them. There's probably a name for their job, like. But
the guy in the chair.
The guy that can actually read all the sushi recipes. Is that what it is? Is that going to be one of your things?
Oh, so what was this again?
I remember hearing this, that like, do you know all the text on the screen?
Yeah,
so it's all they can read it and all apparently, but it's not. It's in like, is it in like characters? It's in another language, letters.
Okay.
But apparently somebody says, is it like food recipes or like sushi recipes?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't put in all of the trivia.
I could be wrong. I also could be just completely making that. No, I think it's
No, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tank, the actor.
Yeah.
Do you know the actor's name?
No.
Marcus Chong.
Okay.
This sounds like I'm about to lie to you again.
Okay.
This is actually true.
Yeah.
He's Tommy Chong's adopted son.
Who's Tommy Chong?
Cheech and Chong.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I think he's not in sequels because he had like a falling out with the studio or something with money. But yeah, he's Marcus Chong. He was in a few other things, but like
his career really went up in smoke, didn't it? Is that one of the...
I think it is, yeah. That's all I got trivia wise. Any wee tidbits to bring to the table?
I'm trying to think. There's probably a lot of stuff. Like I feel, what do you call it? I don't know. I feel like that's some things I actually didn't even know about the movie.
How often do you watch this again?
I try not to watch it too much because I feel that
you'll sicken yourself.
You'd sicken yourself of it, but like I watched it again whenever I got Emer for Christmas. Had very kindly got me the like a Christmas a couple of years ago, the 4K Blu-ray.
Oh yeah,
which was brilliant. Like that was the perfect. It was great. Like I feel that. That's actually a good point as well. I remember having it on, like, watching it when I was younger, obviously, on like maybe a DVD or a TV, and then when the Blu-ray came out, I got it on Blu-ray, and then it's out in 4K Bluray, got that as well. And each time has been like a significant rewatch for me, but each time it looked better and better and better. So
very good,
pretty cool. Yeah.
I think we watched it like a year or two ago, and then I think when I watched it a year or two ago, the last time I watched it was uni. So you're talking about 10 years, like.
Yeah.
But fucking classic, like.
It's one of the best movies ever, and I think it definitely. It pushed my interest in like film, sci-fi, like you know, I don't know, all the like the music and everything. Like it was just it's one of those movies I think that like, do you see if you give somebody like a list, somebody has 5 or 10 movies, like, you know, Jurassic Park is definitely going to be on your list of movies that somebody just has to watch.
Hondo,
do you know, like movies you have to see, significant movies that are something in the film industry or looked upon as like, that's one of them. And that's why I was put into that time capsule yoke, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah. I don't think it's actually a time capsule. It's kind of like it's like the Criterion Collection thing. It's like the Treasury recognised it as something that had a severe cultural.
Why do I think it's some sort of time capsule?
Yeah, they didn't bury it in the ground and they're not going to open it up in 50 years and go, ooh, it's just like the Treasury have it in a vault somewhere. Like.
Yeah, I they just open it up and it's like, what's this? It's like, these discs, it's like, we don't use discs anymore. It's like, can you play this? Like, no.
Fuck's sake, No, but they've a DVD player in the vault as well.
Oh, that's good. So you have to go and watch them in there.
Yeah.
Cool,
It's the only place you know where to sit.
Yeah.
So, right, if you were to do the podcast again, what would be your film?
Ooh. That's a good one, actually.
You should, if you fucking listen to this podcast, you'd know this question was coming.
I know. That's a good one, actually, because then I think another part is like that's one of my favorite movies that I like. But obviously, I think if it was doing it, I wouldn't pick something that's necessarily
Can I
my
guess
favorite.
for you?
Yeah,
Would it be Looper?
possibly Looper, or possibly The Prestige.
Oh,
Prestige, I
it's
think.
good.
The Prestige is just it's probably up there like with The Matrix in terms of like movies that I just love, that just are so clever, and yeah, great movie.
Upgrade, you like it as well, don't you?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good crack. Like
And podcast recce's. I feel like
I'm not a massive podcast listener.
You do
but
Blind Boy though, don't you?
listen to Blind Boy. I listen to a lot of the Louis Theroux one. Any podcast, I've got an access to like know all of the best podcasts ever, because Emer listens to all of these podcasts and knows all of the best podcasts. So
Yeah.
like I'm not someone that has a shortage of ones to look for, but I guess I feel like I'm sort of just trying to get better at listening to them.
You know what you might like? I started listening to recently. I had John Maher on the podcast,
Yeah.
and he's good mates of Vittorio Angeloni.
Yes, yeah.
And he recommended Mike Rice and Vittorio's podcast.
Yeah.
I've started listening to it. It's fucking
Is it
hilarious.
on like Spotify, or is it just like through Patreon, or was it?
No, I don't know. I
Patreon?
just listen to everything on Podcast Addict, because it essentially downloads them to your phone, so you can listen to them offline, and then auto
that's
deletes them when you finish listening to them.
That's great.
Whereas I like to keep my music and my podcast separate, so I just use Spotify for music.
Yeah.
But it's really funny. It's called Mike and Vittorio's Guide to Parenting, but it's a piss take name.
I think I've seen like you see a lot of clips of it from just watching, sort of like being on Instagram and stuff like that. So I think it's probably one I would watch, like, but I just feel like I'm just really crap at listening to watching podcasts. Good at watching movies, shit at watching.
I'm shit at watching movies. Good
Yeah.
listening to podcasts, like, because it's always, I need to have my hands occupied, so I listen to podcasts.
Good podcast buff.
Yeah. Oh, here.
It's like, yeah, it's good work. It sounds shit, actually.
It does sound fucking
Podcast
terrible.
about podcasts.
A podcast,
It's just too meta. Like,
too meta.
Yeah.
The Matrix.
The Matrix.
Right, we'll call it there, will we?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Right, look, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming on.